Okay, today's the final lesson of the muscular system. What we're going to do today is skeletal muscle movements. It'll fix itself. Okay, the first term is going to be flexion. Flexion is reducing the angle between two articulating bones. Remember that articulation from last unit means when two bones touch each other and they form a joint? If you bring your hand close to your shoulder like I am right now, that is a flex. You can flex your bicep. I want you to think of geometry. What angle is my arm at right now? 90. How about now? Is the angle getting larger or smaller? When you reduce the angle between two bones, that is a flex. What other parts of your body can actually flex besides your arm? Your leg. When you bring your heel closer to your booty, that is a flex. What else can flex? No. Fingers. Look at this. Fingers can flex. What else? Your head can flex. What else? Your whole, what do you do when you do a sit-up? That's a flex. When you bring your head closer to your pelvis, that's a flex, like when you're doing a sit-up. You can also flex, so you can flex your head like this. You can flex your body like that. Flex your arms, your wrists, your fingers, and your legs. The opposite of flexion is extension. You are increasing the angle. Between two articulating bones. So what muscle in your upper arm is responsible for extending? Triceps. You have forearm muscles that are called extensors. You have a lot of them. They're annoying to learn. They make your fingers stick out, like mine are. When you're at the gym and you are doing leg extensions, what part of your leg are you working out? Your quadriceps. All four quadriceps are responsible for leg extension. Also, your glutes are responsible for extending your entire leg, like where your thigh meets your body. That's what your glutes are for. That's why when you do a squat, you're extending your leg, you're straightening your leg out. Squatting works out your butt, and so does lunges. I'll mention all those different exercises because I know some of you might be interested. All right, next is going to be abduction and adduction. One little letter makes all the difference. Now, I have a cheesy way to perhaps remember abduction, but it's memorable, and I bet you'll remember it next Tuesday. Abduction is when you move limbs away from the midline of the body. Okay. All right. So have you ever gone to the gym and you see people on a machine like this? They're working out their legs. Well, that is called abduction. If I do this, move my arms or legs away from my midline, that is called abduction. So I have a cheesy way to help you remember this. Let's say Nikita is wearing a jacket and he comes up and he goes, hey, Blind Emma, you want to see my abs? Abduction. You go away from your body. The opposite of abduction is adduction. You come towards the midline of your body. So that machine at the gym that works out your thighs and your butt, your gluteus minimus, medius, and maximus, If the pad is on the outside of your thighs, do you think you're spreading your legs or bringing your legs together? You're spreading. You're trying to push against that pad. That is an abduction. The machine where the pad is on the inside of your legs, you start out with your legs spread and you have to bring them together. That's an adduction. So adduction is bringing in. Abduction is going out. Okay. And the last one is going to be circumduction. It's where arms, fingers, legs, etc. spin to form a cone shape. So you're kind of like this. You can do this with your leg, your hand, your fingers. You can do that. That's all going to be circumduction. One moment. Oops. Another one I saw when I took your test yesterday, because I was bored out of my mind, is origin and insertion of skeletal muscle. I'm going to draw your arm, bones, and then I'll draw the muscle. Yes. Can you guys tell me what bones I just drew? Humerus, good. Is the radius with the elbow or without the elbow? Without. And the ulna is the one with the elbow. Your elbow is actually called the olecranon. Okay, now, your bicep is called the bicep because it has two heads. In fact, bicep means two head, and brachii means arm or shoulder. What type of tissue connects a muscle to a bone? Good. Now, what we need to learn is what is the difference between an origin and an insertion. So here's the actual definitions. For origin, it is the part of a muscle that connects proximally, and the insertion is the part of a muscle that connects distally. Now, you learned those terms back in August. What does proximal mean? Closer towards the body. And distal means further from the body. So what part of the bicep is the proximal end? The shoulder side or the forearm side? Obviously the shoulder side. So the part of your bicep that connects to your shoulder would be considered the origin of the bicep. And the part of the bicep that connects to your forearm, which brings your forearm up, would be considered the insertion. Same goes for your triceps and your pectoralis major and a lot of other muscles. The part that connects closer to your midline is going to be the proximal, or sorry, the origin. The part that is further from your body is going to be the insertion. Any questions so far? All right. Yes, Amara. I'm going to transition to the PowerPoint. This PowerPoint is on Canvas. If you go to Unit 6, one of the buttons says Assignments and PowerPoints and Notes, and that is where it's found. It's called Muscles of the Skeleton. These are the 16 muscles or muscle groups that you had to learn for this class, and that's not too bad considering there's more than 635 muscles. You have to know about 16. Easy.
Wait, could you repeat where the PowerPoint is?
Unit 6, PowerPoints and Notes. You guys ready? All right. Give me 1 second. Perfect. Okay, let's do it. Here's the first one, the masseter. It is located in your cheek. It helps bring your jaw up when you are chewing. Chewing is actually mastication. You have to open your mouth and close your mouth. Open your mouth and close your mouth. This is when you open your mouth. You have a lot of muscles in your face. If you go to college, you have to learn a lot of those muscles, but not yet. This elevates your mandible. Your mandible is the only movable bone in your skull. That's your bottom jaw. This muscle brings it back together, so it closes your mouth. Next, no width. Okay, this thing right here, it's called your masseter process. That's what your sternocleidomastoid attaches to on your head, right there. Ready? Hold on a second. Doesn't this work? Okay, the platysma. This elevates your neck and helps open your mouth. It causes your mandible to open. This goes from your chin all the way down to your clavicles, which are your collarbones. Okay, next one is called your sternocleidomastoid. This flexes your neck, which is this, if you look at me, is basically trying to bring your chin closer to your chest. Like this. That's a flex, a neck flex. It also lets you rotate your head like an owl, looking left and right. You have two sternocleidomastoid muscles. One on your left, one on your right. Okay, next. You have your pectoralis major. This causes your arms to adduct. Is that away from your midline or towards your midline? Towards your midline. It makes you do this. When you're working out, guys, you see people like this, Sebastian. People will have their arms to their sides and bring their arms closer towards the midline. That works out your chest. That's an adduction. It also allows you to rotate your arm forward like this. Is everybody ready? Ready? Number 6 is your rectus abdominis, or abdominis rectus. It's all going to be the same, apparently. This flexes the body at the lumbar region of your spine. What is the lumbar region of your spine? Upper back, neck, mid back, or lower back?
Lower back.
Lower back. How many lumbar vertebrae do you have? 5. This basically allows you to do a sit-up. When you bring your chest closer to your hips, that's a sit-up. These muscles make that happen. It flexes the body at the lumbar region. You bend your body at your lower back. Keyword in all that is flex. Okay, continuing. Your internal external oblique. They also aid in doing a sit-up, but also bending your body side to side, like this, side to side. They pull the chest downward and compress the abdominal cavity. All right, moving on. Your trapezius has a lot of jobs. It tilts your head up and down so you can nod. It turns your head left and right so you can say no. It helps you stand up straight. It helps you twist your torso, like when you're on a hula hoop, when you're using a hula hoop. You can shrug your shoulders when you say, I don't know. You pull your shoulders back, again, with your posture. And it controls your scapula, which is your shoulder blades. It generally stabilizes your upper back. Sebastian, if you want to work these out, you need to get a bar in your hands to do shrugs and hold them there. Don't just do this. You got to slow. There's a motto in lifting weights called time under tension. You want to make your muscles scream. Don't make it easy on them. Ready? Okay, the next is your Latissimus Dorsi. We call them lats for short. These help adduct your arms, which is going towards your midline. They also medially rotate your arms, which is this. You have your arms in front of you, like you're reaching out to grab someone, and you just rotate your arms. Some people like to call these your wings. Remember I told you yesterday about the whole air lats idea? People they stick their arms way out like their lats are so large. They're really not. And on that thought, keep in mind, if you're ever being chased by a dog or a bird or a raccoon or something scary, stick your arms out, be a bigger bird. Get a good chance to scare it. Okay, we're halfway through. There's 16 total. Ready? Number 9, your deltoid. Your deltoid gets its name because it kind of looks like an upside down triangle, which is the Greek letter delta, a triangle. But that's how it gets its name. This is the prime mover of shoulder adduction. You typically have your anterior deltoid, your medial deltoid, and your posterior deltoid. They combine to make your whole deltoid muscle. You have to do different types of exercises to target all 3 spots. It's a muscle that's, here's a great question. I just thought of this. Take a look at this picture you have. What is the origin of that deltoid muscle? The part that connects to the clavicle or the part that connects to your humerus? Clavicle, because your clavicle is proximal to your humerus. Your humerus is distal. Ready? Next is your biceps brachii. Bicep means 2 head. Brachii means arm or shoulder. It's a 2-headed muscle. It allows for flexion at the elbow, which is just doing a flex, like you're on flex cam or the lightning game. You're bringing your fist like closer to your shoulder. It also allows for the supination of the forearm, which is the rotation of the forearm at the elbow. Piece of advice when you guys, if any of you like to work out, I know a lot of you may when you get to college, if you want to work out your biceps and your triceps, like I got to get bigger arms. Don't do both on the same day. When I was in high school, our coaches told us to do chest and triceps on Mondays and Wednesdays, back and biceps Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because when you're actually doing a bench press, when you're sticking your arms out like this, you're extending your arms. What else are you working out in your arms? If you're extending your arms. Triceps. Triceps are extensors. And so every time you come down and then you go up again, you're doing a bench press. Not only are you working out your chest, you're working out your triceps too. So you're basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But on the other hand, if you're doing like a back pull, like let's say I'm grabbing something, I'm bringing it towards me. I'm working out my back, but I'm also flexing my arms. So what am I working on my arms? My bicep. Number 11, your triceps brachii. This is a 3-headed muscle that's on the back of your arm. They're extenders. They extend your elbow. When you straighten your arm out, that's your triceps at work. Ready? Number 12, gluteus maximus. It controls the flexion of the trunk, the deceleration. It decelerates your leg swing so you don't hyperextend your leg. It flexes at the hip and it extends the thigh. When you do a squat and you stand up, that's extending your leg. That's working at your glutes. Squats and lunges, they really work out that muscle group. You have a gluteus minimus, medius, and maximus. You guys only have to know the maximus. Maximus means big. Medius means medium. Minimus means small. Okay. 4 more. Try to get these in before the bell. Number 13, your hamstring group. Now, as promised, here's the 3 muscles that make up your hamstring, and I have them labeled on this PowerPoint, which is available to you on Canvas under Unit 6, PowerPoints and Notes. Biceps femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus. This allows your knee to flex. If you were to try to make your heel touch your gluteus maximus, your butt, that is a flexion of your leg, a flexion of the knee. Your biceps and your hamstrings perform the same function. They flex your limb, arms and legs respectively. Ready? You ready, Elijah? Okay, number 14, your quadriceps group. This is your rectus femoris, vastus intermedius, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. You cannot see your intermedius because your rectus femoris is covering it up. This extends your leg. Whenever you do knee extensions or leg extensions, this is your quads at work. They allow you to stand up straight. They also stabilize your knee. Ready? All right, second last one, tibialis anterior. This permits dorsiflexion of the foot. Let me tell you what dorsiflexion is. You point your toes towards the sky. When you try to point your toes towards the sky, which means your heel is pointing towards the ground, that's called a dorsiflexion. If you have shin splints, you should try to do this motion. It might loosen it up. But when you do have shin splints, your tibialis anterior is likely the culprit. That's the muscle that's hurting. It also allows for inversion of the foot, which is when you bend your foot inward towards your midline. And after this, we have one more. Which one are we missing? The back of your lower leg, your gastrocnemius. That's the last one we have. Ready? Last one, your gastrocnemius. This is flexion of the leg at the knee and the plantar flexion of the foot. When it says plantar flexion, you're basically standing on your tippy toes, and you do that over and over and over. That's a plantar flexion. If you like to exercise your gastrocnemius, you need to stand on your tiptoes. And then again, that causes them to work out. Okay, get that jotted down. And that is the conclusion of this lesson and the unit. We will do study guide the next 2 days.